Okay, next morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Um, Tonight's topic is glutathione is strengthening our immune system. And it's still very, very much relevant to have very strong immune system because we're still not out of COVID. I think I read that in China, in some cities, it's like lockdowns again. So let's hope that's not happened to us. Okay, let's get familiar again with glutathione. Most of you are familiar. There are any new attendees tonight, then welcome. And we want to share with you about the most important antioxidant for the body, and that is glutathione. GSH is the short form for the active or reduced form of glutathione. For decades, it has been known as the master antioxidant. Here, Dr. Oz calls it the superhero of antioxidants, and many other accolades have been given to glutathione. But there must be a reason why this singular antioxidant gets all this title, whereas there are thousands and thousands of other antioxidants, some claiming to be very strong, 1,000 times, 2,000 times stronger than vitamin C, for example. But there is only one master antioxidant, and that is glutathione. Okay, so this is the glutathione molecule. It's made of 3 amino acids, glutamic acid, cysteine, and glycine, with the cysteine in the center, with the thiol or sulfhydride group, that is the yellow atom, the sulfur, and the hydrogen atom that makes the SH or thiol sulfhydride group. The rest of the molecule is the G. The GSH means this. Okay, so what are the major functions of glutathione? Yeah, for decades we knew it as a master antioxidant, but then when the signs of disease and aging and cancer moved on to inflammation, then it was found out that glutathione is also a very powerful anti-inflammatory agent. It is a very powerful immune booster and modulator. What do we mean by modulator? You know, boosting means from weak becomes stronger. But you know, there are people with already overactive immune system. You boost that further, you're asking for trouble. So modulating means bringing back to healthy normal. If it's overactive, calm it down. If it's underactive, boost it up. Then it is a very powerful detoxifying agent. And now the science of signaling molecules has come to the picture. And indeed, glutathione is also very versatile signaling molecules. In fact, there are hundreds of other functions of glutathione, not just these 5, but tonight we will focus on its immune boosting and modulating function. Right, just to remind that there are many, many other functions of glutathione. Okay, let's go to the immune system. So most of you know that immune system is our defense system, but it is not just about defense. It also destroys and removes dead and dying and mutant and foreign cells and removes tissue debris also. Okay, and the defense against what? You have toxins, you have fungus, you have bacteria, you have parasites, you have germs. Other germs means bacteria and viruses also. And then you have pollutants, you have carcinogens. Okay, so what can go wrong with the immune system? It can be underactive, it can be overactive, or it can be suffering from an autoimmune problem, that is, it attacks your own cells, tissues, and organs. So that is autoimmunity means your immune system is attacking you. And even though the immune system is supposed to protect us against cancer cells, the immune cells themselves can become cancerous. You have leukemia, lymphoma, multiple myeloma, and others. So in all these 4 potential problems, glutathione may help, which means with sufficient glutathione, you can expect to have a well-functioning, balanced immune system, that can protect you against internal threats and external threat. Okay, autoimmunity, for example, now over 100 diseases classified as autoimmune diseases, which in the past, the doctors called most of these diseases as idiopathic diseases, meaning cause unknown. But it is actually just a polite way of saying that we feel we are like idiots because we don't know what's happening. Okay, now there are no more idiots because they know the problems and autoimmunity. But you can imagine why it took so long for these diseases to be correctly diagnosed, because nobody expected your own immune system, your immune cells, to be the culprit attacking you. Okay, then you have allergic reactions, then you have infections, you have cancer. So if you have sufficient glutathione, you have a balanced system with optimal effectiveness, right? Okay, let's get to know our immune cells closer, right? So there are many types of immune cells. These are the basic cells that you should get familiar with. And when you do your executive blood profile, for example, the doctor would order the full blood count. Then you see under the white blood cells, then there'll be these four, the top four. Okay, there'll be neutrophil count, eosinophil count, basophil count, and monocyte count. Okay. And then you have the other more specialized cells, the T cells, the B cells, the natural killer cells, and macrophage. So how does glutathione empower our immune system? It does this in two ways. All the immune cells require glutathione for them to function properly. Okay, that means it enables the optimal functioning of the immune cells. Secondly, glutathione also protects these cells. Okay, so it not only allows the cells to work properly, it also protects these cells from what? From free radicals, from toxins, right? From other things, impurities that can damage the cells, especially those at the bottom there that has receptors on the surface, right? To help them recognize enemies as opposed to friendly cells. So if those receptors are damaged, then these cells will malfunction. Glutathione keeps those receptors in perfect condition so that they can have perfect function. So optimum immune function gives the best defense against viruses and other invaders and against autoimmunity. So if we look into the scientific literature, these are some of the claims that we can make about glutathione because there's sufficient evidence for this, right? Glutathione can be used to fight infections, can be used to treat HIV/AIDS. Right? Glutathione inhibits viral replication. Many types of viruses have been studied, and every one of the studied, glutathione inhibits them. Then glutathione is a key modulator of autoimmunity. As mentioned, now more than 100 diseases classified as autoimmune, and glutathione is useful. In fact, in my own practice, anyone with autoimmunity, I push the glutathione first. I don't think about the drugs. And glutathione may treat rheumatoid arthritis and SLE. And here among our members here, also we have very good testimonies of reversal of rheumatoid arthritis and SLE, even though we do not make any therapeutic claim. We're just sharing the fact that we have seen, we have observed, and I as a medical doctor have even checked some of their medical records that they were able to go off the drugs and improve with just boosting their glutathione. Technical. Okay. Once in a while, I have to go aside because somebody comes in and does not mute the mic. Then we have to attend to that. Okay. Now, okay. So what about the role of glutathione in viral infections? All right. We're still in this transitory phase. Yeah, we're not pandemic fully off the pandemic. We are in the transition phase. Every day is still about 2,000, 3,000, sometimes 4,000 cases. Yeah. So do not know how long this will last. So it is good to still be wary of this. Okay. So we go into detail how glutathione plays its role. First, we should know that our immune cells, they work as a team, right? Let's start from the top there, where the virus comes in. Oh, that number. Okay, the virus comes in and then infects the cell. Okay, then from the bottom left there is an APC, antigen presenting cell. That cell then will go and engulf the infected cell. Okay, you can see infected cell engulfed by the APC. Okay, so the infected cell, in the meantime, the virus has gone in and started reproducing, and you can see already the viral particles already extruding from the infected cells. Okay, so the APC then will go find what is called a T helper cell. And the APC then will present the antigen, the viral antigen, to that cell, and that cell will then trigger two pathways, right? On the cellular pathway, the T helper cell then will trigger the CD8 plus cells to become killer cells, and these killer cells then will go and attack other infected cells. Another pathway that the T cell helper cell will initiate after being presented with the antigen, okay, is to induce the B cells to start producing antibodies against the viral antigens and also, therefore, disable the viruses. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so see the yellow arrow coming up there and coming up there, coming up there and coming up there. Those are the 4 stages that require glutathione. Without sufficient glutathione, these steps cannot proceed. So now to go into detail, right? Not just telling you glutathione is important for the immune cell to work. I'm telling you at what stage, how, and how is glutathione involved in this teamwork. So you can see glutathione is very important. Any one of those 4 stages cannot proceed, then you are in trouble. Which means glutathione fine-tunes our immune system, gives a precision defense against infections, but not just viruses, right? Also against other infections. And this is independent of its antioxidant properties. So this is purely on its immune boosting and modulating function. So therefore, this may help prevent infection or reduce severity of infection. The importance of glutathione is such that, right, 25 years ago, it was already known that the level of intracellular glutathione can predict the prognosis or the outcome of somebody with HIV infection. You just have to measure how much glutathione they have. You can predict, right, how the disease is going to progress in them. Okay, a study was done on HIV-1 infection, but most probably it also applies to other infections. Okay, this is what we know about glutathione and virus. Glutathione reduces oxidative stress, reduces inflammation, enhances immunity against viruses, may stop viral replication, may prevent cytokine storm, helps liquefy respiratory secretions, helps prevent abnormal blood coagulation, and protects the lungs and all major organs. And those are exactly everything I have mentioned applies to COVID-19 infections. So it is not surprising that it has been found that glutathione can help reduce the severity of COVID-19 in many, many ways. Right? And now we're talking about long COVID, and glutathione may also help prevent a long COVID, which affects many organs and for many months. Okay. So here in Malaysia, 18th March 2020, we went onto lockdown. Just 1 month later, in April, there was a report of an inverted comma experiment done by some American doctors. They just want to see what boosting glutathione can do to their patients who were having COVID-19 pneumonia and were breathless. Okay, so they give glutathione precursors as well as IV glutathione itself. So oral and IV glutathione and precursors, they use N-acetylcysteine and alpha-lipoic acid. And what was the result they found? Within 1 hour, the patients improved. Okay, so you would think, what? The result was so good. Then you would have expected many, many more studies would have been done on glutathione, and glutathione would have been widely prescribed. But unfortunately, nobody was interested because this was not a drug, a patented drug that you can make money. So my opinion, from knowing the many ways glutathione is involved in antiviral immunity, the researchers should be focusing on glutathione instead of the drugs, which, even if they work, have severe side effects. With glutathione, we get many other benefits. And then in May, 1 month later, a Russian scientist did an exhaustive scientific literature analysis, meaning going through all available studies that were done, that are known on glutathione and COVID-19. And he concluded that it is glutathione deficiency that is the most plausible explanation for serious manifestation and death in COVID-19. After him, another study. Could glutathione depletion be the Trojan horse of COVID-19 mortality? Conclusion, this preclinical study shows that glutathione depletion may have a central role in COVID-19 mortality and pathophysiology. Therefore, elevating the glutathione level in tissues may decrease the severity and mortality rates of COVID-19. Again, that same conclusion. Another one, the role of glutathione in protecting against a severe inflammatory response triggered by COVID-19. Right, conclusion shows there that reduced levels of glutathione in the main conditions clinically associated with severe disease were found. Right, again, low glutathione, severe COVID. Low glutathione, severe COVID. Then in the first experiment, they boost glutathione. Within 1 hour, there was improvement. And we know from the early parts of COVID, what were the risk factors? Age, the older you are, the higher your risk. You have comorbidities, the higher your risk. And sex, males die more and than females, suffer more than female. Right? And it so happens, the same applies with glutathione. The older you are, the less glutathione you have. You have chronic diseases, the less glutathione you have. And males actually have lower levels of glutathione than women. That's a fact. Okay. So while there are many, many contributing factors, right, the low level of glutathione must be one of the factors too. Okay. So in conclusion, with regards to COVID-19, having sufficient glutathione does not mean you will not get COVID-19, but the studies show that it may help reduce the severity and fatality of the disease, and having high levels of glutathione may help recovery of vital organs and prevent permanent damage. Okay, then came the vaccines. Unfortunately, despite all the promises, we have found that vaccines are not effective in preventing infection, but may reduce the severity and mortality should you get COVID-19. But in some countries, the studies are coming out even worse than this, that there are more problems with those who are vaccinated than those who are not vaccinated. Now, there are very, very conflicting statistics coming out. But anyway, we just concentrate on making sure that we have sufficient glutathione to provide us protection for those who are vaccinated, and what more for those who are not vaccinated, since even vaccines also cannot guarantee protection against COVID virus. So should you still worry about after being fully vaxxed or boosted? The answer is yes, right? You can see example here, way back in August last year, right? COVID deaths among fully vaccinated patients tripled according to the US CDC. Remember, having sufficient glutathione may provide protection even for those vaccinated, but who are not sufficiently immune to COVID-19 virus. What about, should you still worry after getting COVID-19? Right? Are you totally immune? No. There are people getting second COVID, right? There are people getting third COVID. I heard read somewhere about someone in India got about 4 times. Oh. So yes, the answer is yeah, you still need to worry, because your natural immunity post-infection is variant specific, right? You know they have variants, and immunity to the next variant or subvariant is unpredictable. So we have seen that vaccinations do not stop infection or transmission. So when the next variant comes, even those vaccinated are at risk. So however, those vaccinated or previously infected may have milder disease if reinfected. So there is some immunity, but not total immunity. So the smart thing to do is to boost your glutathione for added protection. We know that glutathione protects against viral infections in many, many ways. In this period of uncertainty with the threat of COVID-19 still lingering, which may continue for years, the emergence of new variants, and there are now so many cases of vaccine failures, everyone should ensure that they have sufficient glutathione. Unfortunately, dietary glutathione is poorly absorbed. The plants and the animals, they also have glutathione to protect themselves, but when you eat them, our glutathione level does not go up because glutathione is fragile and just get digested. The most efficient way to boost glutathione by oral supplementation is to take the glutathione precursors, which boost the body's endogenous production of glutathione. Okay, so because we cannot hope to get it from diet, and oral glutathione supplements are also mostly poorly absorbed, then the scientists found out that all you have to do is give the raw materials, the precursors that make glutathione, and your body, your cells will respond and produce more glutathione. And of the 3, glutamic acid, cysteine, and glycine, it is cysteine that is the rate limiting, meaning is the amount of cysteine that determines how much glutathione is produced, because glutamic acid and glycine are plentiful in our diet, and they are not fragile like cysteine. And the most efficient glutathione precursor right now is ribocysteine, or trademarked as ribosine. Okay. But why do we need to worry about boosting so much, even though our body produces glutathione? Okay, the reason is because the production is sufficient only when we are young. After 20, as part of our programmed aging, glutathione and many other molecules production also come down. Glutathione in the cell works together with 4 other antioxidants, alpha-lipoic acid, coenzyme Q10, vitamin C, and vitamin E. Vitamin C and vitamin E are vitamins which are not produced by the body, so you get it by eating food. Coenzyme Q10 and ALA, like glutathione, are produced by the body, but like glutathione, also come down, like this also. Okay, just to let you know that glutathione is not the only important molecule that declines with aging. Many other molecules, including coenzyme Q10 and ALA, also come down. But of the five, glutathione is the most important, so we focus on the most important one first. So the decline is about 10 to 15% every decade. So taking 20 years as 100%, so that's the expected decline as you age. The lower figure for the unhealthy people, the higher figure for the healthy people. But even if you're healthy also at 70 years old, for example, the healthy ones also only have about 50% left. Okay? So when you have deficient glutathione, then you can expect poor defense against oxidative stress and inflammation, poor immunity, poor detox capability, and many other organ and systemic dysfunctions. And if your life can be described by all this, then your decline is faster than average, then you must put yourself on the lower end scale, not the upper end scale. Indeed, most diseases, after being studied, are found to be associated with glutathione depletion. A decrease in glutathione is a risk factor for chronic diseases that may be used to monitor the severity and progress of the diseases. This is another study. Earlier on, I said that the level of glutathione in the cells can predict the prognosis of HIV. Now the study shows that the level of glutathione in the body can predict the prognosis, the progress of many, many other chronic diseases. Okay, you're familiar with all these diseases. More than 100 diseases have been studied. Now you have to add COVID-19 also to the list because it looks like it's becoming a chronic problem. You know, those with long COVID is a chronic problem. Which means we must know that glutathione is important for every organ in the body. It is the main protector of the brain, lungs, liver, kidneys, eyes, and many other organs. It protects these organs through its antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, detox, immune boosting, and other functions. Right? And even though tonight we're focused on its immune function, but since it is also involved with many, many other diseases, not just related to immune function, let us remind ourselves, don't wait until you're sick to boost your glutathione. So how to boost your glutathione? Again, reminder, glutathione taken orally is not well absorbed. So we need to supplement with glutathione precursors. The most important precursor to give is the cysteine in a stable form. And the best source of stable cysteine now is ribosine. Okay, so what is ribosine? Ribosine is D-ribose L-cysteine, shortened to ribocysteine and patented as ribosine, in which the cysteine then is easily absorbed and utilized by the body to make glutathione, and the ribose is then absorbed, split from the molecule, and it is used by the cells to manufacture ATP, which is the energy carrying molecule, and the synthesis of glutathione also requires ATP, right? So this probably explains why ribosine or ribocysteine is 300% more efficient than the next best enzyme precursor, which is an acetylcysteine, right? So in ribosine, the ribose is used to stabilize the cysteine. In NAC, it is the acetyl group that is used to stabilize the cysteine. So this is a comparison between whey protein, which also has cysteine, and acetylcysteine, NAC, and ribosine. So you can see NAC is 8 times more efficient than whey protein, and then ribosine is three times more efficient than NAC. So ribosine is 24 times more efficient than whey protein, weight for weight, in boosting glutathione. Okay, Max has 2 products that are based on ribosine. So we have Max 1, which is a focused ribosine supplement, 100% ribosine. And then you have Cellgevity, which is ribosine plus 12 other ingredients, which provide many other health benefits, including anti-aging benefits. So the recommended dose of Cellgevity will provide the same amount of ribosine as the recommended dose of Max1. Cellgevity has 12 other ingredients to boost your health, and it is known as an anti-aging powerhouse. In summary, glutathione is a tripeptide with many important functions essential for life, good health, and longevity. As an immune booster and modulator, it keeps our immune system in a healthy, balanced state, optimized to fight viral and other infections, and free from autoimmunity. Its antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and immune-boosting functions have been shown in studies to be useful against viral infections and viral pneumonias. Glutathione is produced by our body, but the production declines rapidly after age 20. This predisposes the body to aging, infections, autoimmunity, many diseases, and cancers, and according to several studies, to COVID-19 as well. We can boost and restore our glutathione to healthy levels. The best way is to take glutathione precursors, and the most efficient precursor available is ribosine or ribocysteine, which is the main ingredient in Max1 and Cellgevity. Thank you very much.